Buenas noches, todos. Hoy aprenderemos sobre algo muy importante. Hoy, today, aprenderemos, as we learned last week, to learn in the future tense, we will learn sobre algo muy importante, about something very important, la familia or the family. Okay, so here we have a little family. Let me just, here we have all the lines showing how everyone's connected. We will get into what these lines are a bit later. But what's important is that this half of the page of the book is one family. This half is another family. And this child is obviously part of both families in the middle. So this is our first connection. So if we look back, we will see that these two have a pink line in between them, these two and these two. So those three pairs are married. So the word for husband is marido. You could also say esposo. Both of these mean husband. And then wife is esposa. So these three women are esposas, wives, and these three over here are maridos or esposos. Another word for wife is mujer. That also means woman, but you can use any of them at any moment. Same for marido and esposo. Anyone is acceptable. Our next connection. So we saw here we have pink lines indicating that people are married. These two are married, and here they're siblings. Our blue lines indicate siblings, which means that our orange lines will then indicate siblings-in-law. So our first word is hermano. Hermano, that means brother. So this man is this woman's hermano. Next we have hermana. So this woman is this man's hermana. She's his sister. Now we have, I think we are missing accents over here. Cuñado. So it's supposed to be that little tilde on the end. Cuñado, which is a brother-in-law. So he is married to this woman, and this is her brother, which means that they are cuñados or brothers-in-law. Next we have cuñada, again missing an accent or tilde over the end, which means sister-in-law. So who's sister-in-law here? Okay. This woman is married to this man. This man has a sister indicated by the blue line, which means that she is her sister-in-law or cuñada. They are sisters-in-law. They are cuñadas. Now we have a complicated setup over here, but I hope this makes it a bit easier to see. So these lines indicate that these people are the parents-in-law of the people at the bottom. So here the yellow lines indicate blood relations, so mother, father, son, and daughter. And then every other color would be either the married people, which we saw earlier, or fathers-in-laws and mothers-in-law. Fathers-in-law and mothers-in-law. So let's look at the parent-child relations first. Let's just ignore the purple and red lines and look at the yellow ones. So Father in Spanish is padre. Padre. So this guy is her padre, and this man over here is his padre. Next we have mother, which is madre. Very similar, madre. This woman is her mother, she is her madre. This woman is his mother, she is his madre, which makes them sons and daughters of these people. So this woman is the hija of this couple. Hija, she is the daughter. This man is the hijo of these two. So he is their son. So as I said earlier, these lines indicate that they are his parents-in-law. So a father-in-law would be a suegro. Suegro. A mother-in-law would be a suegra. He is their son-in-law, which makes him their yerno. Yerno. Now, if we look on this side, we see that they are her husband's parents, which makes them her parents-in-law. So her father-in-law is her suegro, mother-in-law, suegra, and she is their daughter-in-law. So she is their nuera. Nuera. So as we saw earlier, this man has a sibling, and they both have children. So she would be his child's aunt, and he would be her child's uncle. So tío for uncle and tía for aunt. If I want to say, he is my uncle, I would say, él es mi tío. She is my aunt. Ella es mi tía. But that makes them these people's nieces and nephews as well. So because he's a boy, he'll be a nephew. He is her sobrino. He is the sobrino, the nephew of this woman, and she is the sobrina or niece of this man. These blue lines indicate the uncle, niece, or aunt-nephew relation. So tía, sobrino, aunt, nephew, tío, sobrina, uncle, niece. So we saw here that this is the uncle of this girl and this is the aunt of this boy. That makes them cousins, which is indicated by this light green line. So a cousin could be a primo or a prima. It depends on your relation. On the gender. So this boy is a boy, which makes him a primo. She is a girl, so she is a prima. Remember when we looked at gender earlier, how gender must coordinate with nouns? We said things that end with an O are usually masculine, and things that end in an A are usually feminine. So the one with the feminine ending is used for female cousins. The one with a masculine ending is used for male cousins. So if you have a male cousin, you can say, él es mi primo, he is my cousin, and it's just understood that he is your male cousin. She is my female cousin, or just she is my cousin. Ella es mi prima, and it's understood that this is your female cousin. If we have a few cousins, and they are all boys, we would say primos. A few cousins and it's mixed, boys and girls. These are our primos again. And only females, our primas. Now we have these cousins again and their grandparents. So our first person over here is abuelo. He is a grandfather. Next to him, we have abuela, feminine ending, so she is the grandmother. And now they have grandchildren. So the male grandchild would be a nieto. The female grandchild would be a nieta. If we have many grandchildren, there would be nietos if they are only boys or mixed boys and girls. If we have only female grandchildren, there would be nietas, mis nietas, my grandchildren. Now, these people aren't really in our diagram that we had in the beginning, just not enough space. So our first word on the left-hand side is medio hermano. So if you remember when we did time, we saw medianoche and y media, that means half past. So remember that means half. So medio hermano is literally half brother. Media hermana, same thing, but feminine, half sister. On the right-hand side, we come to the stepfather, stepmother, stepson, and stepdaughter. These all have similar endings as well. So stepfather is padrastro. 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 Then we have stepmother, madrastra. Madrastra. Then we have stepson, which is hijastro. Hijastro. And stepdaughter, which is hijastra. 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 So the E in padre and the E in madre become A's, and then you add str and then O or A, depending on the gender. Over here, just remember it's not hijostro, it's hijastro. So all these have their final letter replaced with an A, except for hijastra, that hija usually has an A at the end. So replace the E or the last vowel of these words with an A, and then add stra or stro, depending on the gender. Okay, now let's get to colors. We have a few colors over here. Our first one being rosa, which is pink. Then we have rojo, rojo, which is red. Naranja, orange. Amarillo, amarillo, which is yellow. Then we have verde, green. Azul, blue. Morado, purple. Marrón, which is brown. Then we have negro, which is black. Gris, which is gray. Blanco, which is white. And at the bottom we have oscuro and claro. So if you want to say dark green, you would say verde oscuro. Dark purple, morado oscuro. So here the adjective dark is going after our noun, which is the color. Or if you want to say light, light blue, azul claro, light yellow, amarillo claro, and the rest follow the same formula. Now let's look at making words plural. So we've been exposed to many singular words like rosa, rojo, naranja, amarillo. These are all singular. But how do we make words plural? We also saw in the family, we made some of those words plural, like nieto and nietos. What else did we have? Maybe tío and tíos, sobrino, sobrinos, sobrina, sobrinas. Those ones are fairly simple. We just added an S at the end, but you can't do that for all words. So we are going to look at what happens when we have words that are a little trickier to work with. Like azul, for example. This one you can't say azules. That sounds a bit weird. So plural words. So when we have nouns that end in vowels, like madre, padre, abuelo, sobrino, we can just add an S at the end, and those become madres, padres, I forgot the other one, sobrinos. Something that's important is matching the article to the noun in both gender and number. So we can't say, I have un sobrinos. I have a nephews. We would say, I have or tengo unos sobrinos. I have some nephews. Tengo muchos sobrinos. I have many nephews. And if we use sobrinas, for example, we would say muchas sobrinas. Tengo muchas sobrinas. So we had to change muchos from muchos to muchas. So the ending matches the ending of our noun. So with an article, we would say unas, for example. Unas is the plural of una. Tengo unas sobrinas. I have a few nieces. But if these nieces were nephews, we would say tengo unos sobrinos. Our next rule is we add es to nouns that end in consonants. So as we saw here, we have azul, which ends in an L, and that's a consonant. So this will become azules. Azules. Gris over here also ends in a consonant. So it's not gris with an extra S at the end. We make it grises. Grises. Here it says add an es and drop the accent over the O if the noun ends in I-O-N, ion. We have the word habitación. So habitación would end in this I-O-N. It would become habitaciones. So all we do is we get rid of the accent over the O, keep the word the same, habitación, and we add an es, habitaciones. So this is one of the few times where we have something that ends in a consonant but won't get an es at the end when it ends in ion. Rule number 5 says if a noun ends in a Z, add es and change the Z to a C. So we have the word judge, which is juez. Let's type it in the chat. Oh yes, I will send written examples after the class. So we have juez, that ends in a Z. So what we do is we take away the Z and then add a CES. So if you remember, the CE makes the same sound as a ZE. So we want to keep the sound the same. That's why we just replace the Z with a C and we add an ES. Next, we have nouns ending in C or G. So we change the C to a QU and a G to a GU. Words that end in these aren't too common, so I'll find some and then I'll share examples of that. Next, it says when the noun ends in an S or an X and the last syllable is unstressed, only change the article to plural. So there's this word that you probably won't use very often, and it's thorax, which is thorax, and that ends in an X. So what you do is you keep the word the same, but if you want to make it plural, you would usually use an article before it. So instead of using a singular article, use a plural article. Earlier, we also learned days of the week, our first day being lunes. So one Monday would be lunes, el lunes. Many Mondays would be los lunes. It ends in an S. We keep it the same. We just change the article. So el lunes becomes los lunes. Same with martes. That's another day of the week we have that ends in an S. Instead of el martes, it will become los martes. Most of them end in an S. We have jueves, miércoles, which comes before jueves. After jueves, we have viernes, which is Friday. And then sábado and domingo don't end in S's. But our 5 weekdays all end in S's. So to change them from singular to plural, only change the article. Next, our final rule, when the plural refers to 2 or more nouns of different genders, use the masculine plural. So we saw this a lot earlier. If we have many grandparents, for example, and it's a mix of grandmothers and grandfathers, then use the masculine ending for the root word. So abuelo is the masculine word, so we'll convert it to plural, becomes abuelos. Instead of taking abuela and making it abuelas, if we have a mixture, we take the masculine and make the masculine word plural. Even, I'm sure I said this last time, but it's a bit important, even if we have a group of 50 women and then there's like 1 man, that's still our mixed group, so we will refer to them as abuelos. Okay, adjectives. So as we saw earlier, with oscuro and claro and our colors, adjectives come after the noun, but sometimes adjectives will come before the noun. I gave an example, mis sobrinos. So mis, my, is an adjective, and that came before the noun. So here are a few rules that we can look at so that we'll know whether or not the adjective comes before or after our noun. So let's look at before first, because this is shorter. So here we have non-descriptive adjectives. My house, mi casa, a few cats, pocos gatos, pocos meaning few, gatos meaning cats, some dogs, algunos, some dogs, perros. So here we see that every adjective comes before the noun. I think I also said muchos sobrinos earlier. Muchos comes before sobrinos. Sobrinos is our noun and muchos will be our adjective. So if you want to emphasize something, then you would also put the adjective before the noun. So if I want to say today is a good day, hoy es un día bueno. Hoy, today, es is un día, a day, bueno, good. Today is a day, good. So adjective came after the noun. But if we want to emphasize that today was a really good day, we would say, or today is a really good day, we would say, hoy es un buen día. Hoy es un buen día. So we took away that O at the end. That's common. We'll see that in the next one as well. Only for one number though. So next is ordinal numbers. So first, second, third, etc. Our example here is the second day, el segundo día. The second day, the adjective, and then noun. If I want to say the first day, I would say el primer día. First is primero or primera, but because I'm putting it before the noun, I make it primer. El primer día. Next, we have the adjectives that will come after the noun. So colors, if I want to say a green apple, I would say una manzana verde. I will type it over here. Una manzana verde. So remember, verde means green and manzana means apple. So now this means an apple green. But it's a green apple. But we say it as an apple green. Our adjective will come after our noun. Adjectives indicating membership or classification. So the Chinese restaurant or the Catholic priest. So classification, wouldn't really know how to describe that, but if you have a country like Chinese or membership, like you're a member of the Catholic Church, or if you want to say the, I don't know, Islamic mosque maybe, then Islamic would come after mosque in Spanish. So the Chinese restaurant would be el restaurante chino, the restaurant Chinese. The Catholic priest would be el sacerdote católico, the priest Catholic. Next, we have adjectives modified by an adverb or phrase. The very interesting book, el libro muy interesante. The book, very interesting. So very interesting would be our adverb, and we put that after the book. And then we have the cup full of water, which is la taza, the cup, la taza, llena de agua, full of water. So here we keep full of water after the cup, and we keep very interesting after the book, because these consist of more than one word. Our final one is multiple adjectives. So this is when we have, okay, over here we have the big and expensive house, la casa grande y cara, the house big and expensive. Let's take this multiple adjectives as an opportunity to explain something else. So remember, we learned this quite some time ago. E means and. If we have a big and interesting house, we wouldn't say la casa grande y interesante, because E and interesante start with the same letter. Well, they don't start with the same letter, they have the same sound, and they're right next to each other. So instead, we will say la casa grande e interesante. I think I will type that for you. So because we have multiple adjectives, grande e interesante, or grande y cara, these come after our noun. So now we can start describing people. So if you are someone who's very tall and you are a male, you can say soy alto. Soy muy alto. Yo no soy muy alta. I'm not very tall. So I'm female, so I will make alto, alta. These are also neutral, masculine and neutral if they end in an O. Feminine things will usually end in an A. They can end in other things. Our next word is bajo. If you are a short male, you would say soy un hombre muy bajo. I'm a very short male. Soy una chica baja. I'm a short female. I'm a short girl. Soy una chica baja instead of bajo. If you're very muscular, you would say, soy musculoso. Soy musculoso. If you're a female, soy musculosa. If you know someone, if you know a man who is very thin, you would say, él es delgado. Él es delgado. If your cousin, your female cousin is very thin, you would say, mi prima es delgada. Mi prima es delgada. Our next word is rechoncho. Rechoncho, which is chubby. If there is a male child who's a bit chubby, you would say, el niño es rechoncho. El niño, the boy, es rechoncho, is chubby. If we're talking about a female child, we would say, la niña es rechoncha. If someone is a bit fat, we will say gordo. If you want to say you all are fat, then you would say vosotros sois gordos. If these people are only female, you would say gordas. If you all and informal are very good looking, you would say vosotros sois guapos. If it's one person, guapo. One female, guapa. Many females, vosotros sois guapas. You all are good looking. Next we have feo, which is ugly, or fea for female. And we have joven, soy joven, I am young. Joven won't change if you are male or female because it ends in an N. So soy joven, and this random man is joven as well. Él es joven. We are both joven. Somos jóvenes. So we just added an ES for we. Somos, we are jóvenes, young. If someone is old, mayor. Él es mayor. Él es, or ella is also mayor. Doesn't matter whether you're male or female. And then plural, like joven, would be mayores, jóvenes, mayores. Our next word is scruffy, desalineado. If I want to say the scruffy man, I would say el hombre desalineado. So we added our adjective, scruffy, after our noun, which is hombre. El hombre desalineado, the scruffy man, the scruffy woman, la mujer desalineada. So we changed that O to an A. Our final word for physical appearance is pálido. Pálido. Pálido is pale. A woman can be very pálida, a man will be very pálido. Next, we come to personality, or personalidad. Personalidad. If someone is very open, you would say they are abierto. Él es abierto, ella es muy abierta. Él es una persona abierto. Abierto. Ella es una persona abierta. If someone is very pleasant to be around, if they are a pleasant person, they are una persona agradable. Una persona agradable. A pleasant person with agradable coming after a person. A person pleasant, una persona agradable. And someone is very loving, cariñoso, or if it's a female, cariñosa. Mi abuela es súper cariñosa. My grandmother is very loving. Dulce, which means sweet, can be used for male or female in this form. For example, my grandfather is very sweet. Mi abuelo es muy dulce. Eres muy dulce. you are very sweet. Interesante means interesting. Mi amigo es una persona muy interesante. My friend is a very interesting person. If my friend's a female, it stays the same. Mi amiga es una persona muy interesante. So our adjectives that end in an E all stay the same, no matter whether the person is male or female. Next we have inteligente. Eres muy inteligente. You are very intelligent. Él es muy inteligente. He is very intelligent. She is very intelligent. Ella es muy inteligente. So muy means very, super means super or very. So if someone is super inteligente, they are very intelligent. Next we have extrovertido. Extrovertido. That's extroverted. And we have introvertido, introverted. So males would be extrovertido or introvertido. Females would be extrovertida or introvertida. Next we have terco, which is stubborn. Terca, if you are a stubborn female. Then we have flojo, flojo, which is lazy. Eres una persona muy floja. You're a very lazy person. Soy muy floja. I'm very lazy. Él es muy flojo. He is very lazy. Trabajador. Mi padre es una persona trabajador. My father is a hard-working person. So we put that hard-working at the end. If we want to say, my mother is a hard-working person. Mi madre es una persona trabajadora. Oh yes, this one ends in a consonant, but if we're talking about a female, then it gets an a. Una persona trabajadora, a hardworking person. Un hombre trabajador, a hardworking man. So this one does depend on gender. I just forgot that in the beginning. Anything that ends in dor will change, like explorador, which is an explorer, becomes exploradora. That's where Dora the Explorer gets the name from, exploradora, which is a female explorer. Next we have confiable, which is reliable. Confiable, reliable. So he can be confiable or she can be confiable. If many people are reliable, they are confiables. Nosotros, we somos confiables. Nosotros somos confiables. We are reliable. Next we have cerrado. Cerrado. This is close-minded. Él es súper cerrado. He is very close-minded. Ella es súper cerrada. She is very close-minded. This cerrado also means closed. But we'll look at examples like that later. Then we have grosero, which is rude. El hombre es muy grosero. The man is very rude. La mujer es muy grosera. The woman is very rude. Ellos son groseros. They are very rude. Ellas son groseras. They and only females are very rude. Then we have aburrido. El hombre aburrido, the boring man. La mujer aburrida is the boring woman. So let's recap. Our adjectives will go after the noun, unless they fit into these categories. Otherwise, these physical appearance adjectives and our personality adjective will go before the noun. And if our adjectives end in an E, they don't change depending on gender. Otherwise, the rest will change. And mayor, if it ends in a consonant, like an N or an R, it won't change. And so it's like door. Trabajador, trabajadora. So an N and an E will not change. Males and females can use these in their original form. Okay, so now let's put some of the things we learned together. So we have a few adjectives over here, and we also have 2 nouns and some more adjectives over here. So first we have mi pelo es or tengo el pelo. So pelo is hair or hair, as we say at the bottom. Mi pelo es means my hair is. Tengo el pelo means I have the hair. So if I say tengo el pelo negro, it means I have black hair. If I say mi pelo es negro, my hair is black. Mi pelo es negro, my hair is black. Tengo el pelo negro, I have black hair. So tengo is an irregular verb, comes from tener. And it's I have, it's conjugated in first person singular. So tengo el pelo negro, I have black hair. Tengo pelo castaño, I have brown hair, or mi pelo es castaño, my hair is brown. You see, we're putting this adjective after our noun. So I said tengo el pelo negro, noun adjective. Tengo el pelo castaño, noun adjective. If you are pelirrojo, your hair looks like this middle picture over here. So red hair. Mi pelo es pelirrojo. My hair is red. So we don't say rojo like we learned earlier. We say pelirrojo. If I say soy pelirroja, it means I'm a redhead. If you say soy pelirrojo, that means you're male and you're redhead. If you have blonde hair, you can say mi pelo es rubio. Or you can say tengo el pelo rubio. If you want to say I'm a blonde, you can say soy rubio, soy rubia. Then we have canoso. English should be canoso, which is gray. So if you have gray hair, canoso. If you have short hair, corto. Tengo el pelo corto, I have short hair. Mi pelo es corto, my hair is short. Our next one is de largo mediano. So you could say tengo el pelo de largo mediano. I have medium length hair. And we have largo, which is long. Tengo el pelo largo. I have long hair. Tengo el pelo liso. I have straight hair. It's like this picture over here. Liso. Tengo el pelo liso. I have straight hair. If you have wavy hair, like this picture maybe, then you would say tengo el pelo ondulado. Mi pelo es ondulado. Tengo el pelo ondulado. So I haven't changed any of these to like negra, castaña, pelirroja, rubia, canosa, corta yet, because pelo ends in an O, so it's masculine. So we keep these adjectives as masculine. If you have curly hair, you would say tengo el pelo rizado, o mi pelo es rizado. If you don't have any hair, you can say soy calvo if you're a male, or soy calva if you're a female. Calvo, calva. So calvo means bald. Calva also means bald. If you have a fringe, like this third picture with the black hair, you would say, tengo un flequillo. Flequillo. Tengo un flequillo. I have a fringe. So this hair over here is largo, it's ondulado, and it's rubio. So esta persona, this person, esta persona tiene el pelo, this person has the hair that is largo, ondulado y rubio. Esta persona tiene el pelo largo, ondulado y what was the last one? Y rubio. This person has short, curly, red hair. So, esta persona tiene el pelo corto, rizado y pelirrojo. Esta persona tiene el pelo corto, rizado y pelirrojo. Our final person, esta persona tiene un flequillo. This person has a fringe. And esta persona tiene el pelo largo, liso y negro. And this person has long, straight, black hair. Now eye color. So mis ojos son, my eyes are brown, marrones, blue, azules, hazel, avellana, green, verdes, gray, grises, grandes is big, and pequeños is small. So, yo tengo ojos marrones. I have brown eyes. Tus ojos son azules. Tus ojos, your eyes, are blue. Son azules. Tus ojos son azules. Your eyes are blue. Mis ojos son marrones. My eyes are brown. Mi padre tiene ojos avellana. My father has hazel eyes. Mi profesora tiene ojos verdes. My teacher has green eyes. Esta persona tiene ojos grises. This person has gray eyes. Grandes, mis ojos son grandes. My eyes are big. Tus ojos son pequeños. Your eyes are small. So, if we want to put the two together, we could say, tengo el pelo rubio y mis ojos son marrones. So I have blonde hair and my eyes are brown. So even though we had multiple adjectives in that sentence, everything will stay the same in the previous sentences. We saw that we used multiple adjectives. They will still all go at the end, after the noun. So here we see many, many, many words. If you remember, we went over ser and estar, and we were using quite a few of those earlier as well. Here, mis ojos son, mi pelo es. These are all using ser or estar, and these are all using ser. Now let's look at when we can use estar. Now here we have many examples, but these could change meanings if you use them ser. Let's look at our first one because words can be confusing. Ser rico means to be rich. Estar rico mean to taste nice, to taste really good. So, este hombre es rico. This man is rich. La sopa es muy rica. The soup tastes very good. So here we said es rico. El hombre es rico. The man is rich. The soup está rica. La sopa está rica. So we just changed the rico to rica to match sopa. Sopa rica. So the soup tastes good. So if you say soy muy lista, that means I'm very smart. Soy muy lista, I'm very smart. If you said estoy muy lista, that means you are ready. Estoy muy lista, I am, okay, maybe not estoy muy lista. Estoy lista, I am ready. So here we have another difference. Listo meaning smart and listo meaning ready. Our third one is cansado. If I say, soy una persona cansada, that means I'm a tiring person. If I say, estoy cansada, that means I'm tired. If you want to say, the book is boring, el libro es aburrido. The book is boring. If I say, el libro está aburrido, then we're saying the book is bored. So we just have to make sure we always use the right verb with these words. So, estoy aburrida, which means I'm bored. If I say, soy aburrida, I'm saying I am boring. Our next one is malo. Ser malo and estar malo. So, el chico es malo. The boy is bad. El chico está malo. The boy is feeling ill. If I say, la mujer es morena, I'm saying the woman is dark-skinned. If I say, la mujer está morena, the woman is tanned. La chica es pálida. La chica es pálida. The girl is pale. If you are feeling sick, if si estás malo, you might be pale. Then estás pálido. So you are temporarily pale. If someone is very heavy, you would say, esta persona es muy pesada. This person es pesada. If your sibling is annoying you, you would say, mi hermana está pesada. My sister is annoying. If I said, mi hermana es pesado, mi hermana es pesada, I'd be saying my sister is heavy. Ser seguro is to be safe. Estar seguro is to be sure. Estoy seguro, I am sure. Ser bueno, to be good. Like the bad we had over here. Ser malo, to be bad. Ser bueno, to be good. Then we have estar bueno, which is to be attractive. So don't accidentally say to someone, wow, estás muy bueno, when you mean es muy bueno. Then you would be saying, oh, you are so attractive, instead of you're a very good person. Our next one is verde. We know this means green, we saw earlier. So this background here is green, es verde. But if the fruit is green, we would say está verde. That means it's unripe. So está verde unripe or estar verde unripe. Ser verde is green, like the actual color. Then we have viejo, ser viejo, which is to be old. Es viejo, él es viejo, he is old. If someone looks old, then or appears old, está viejo. Then we have orgulloso, orgulloso, which is, if we use ser, it means to be vain or arrogant. So, el chico es orgulloso, the boy is arrogant. But if the boy just wants something and he is proud of his achievement, el chico está orgulloso. So depending on whether you use ser or estar, the meaning of the sentence could change quite a bit. So our final one is grave. We have ser grave, which is to be serious, and we have estar grave, which is to be very ill. So if we conjugate ser and we use grave, then it means that someone is serious. If we use estar and we conjugate it and we use grave with it, it would mean that someone is ill. So that's quite a bit. The best advice I could give you is just to practice, combine everything we learned together. So family members, make them plural, combine them with some adjectives, and then you will get the hang of this whole adjectives come after the noun and the whole masculine, feminine, plural, singular concept. And that's it for today. Buenas noches. Hasta pronto. Muchas gracias todos. Muchas gracias.